Hi and welcome back to Parsnips and Parsimony. My name's Janelle and today I'm going to be taking you along for making some strawberry-rhubarb jello-jam. I've been making, well, I haven't been making it. My mom has been making this ever since I was a little tiny kid and I grew up on this stuff. This year I'm going to be making it for my family and I thought I'd bring you guys along and maybe give you some inspiration to trying a new recipe. I have everything prepped and ready to go. So for this recipe, you're going to need sugar, rhubarb, a can of crushed pineapple, and 6 ounces of strawberry jello. I'm going to be making a triple batch of this. However, I need 3 different pans for it because when you're making jam like this, you can't triple the batch and put it all in one pot. The results will come out watery or the consistency won't be right, so you have to do these in individual batches. But today I'm going to be cutting enough for 3 batches of jam. That means I'm going to need 15 cups of rhubarb, so I'm going to go out to the garden and pick it right now. This is my rhubarb patch here and you can see it is definitely ready to pick some leaves and get ready to be harvested. I don't know if this is enough rhubarb. I can come back and pick more, but I picked that much. We'll start with this. I'm going to trim those leaves off and then we're going to wash it up and get this going. That's what we have after trimming off the leaves and the ends. So all that rhubarb I picked was 3 pounds, 5 ounces. My husband says that that's not going to be enough for 15 cups of rhubarb. I guess we'll find out, and if I need to go out and pick some more, I will. I went ahead and wrote down the rhubarb, 3 pounds, 5 ounces. I might have to add to that if we need more. If you haven't watched our previous videos, we have a garden produce journal. So for the entire year, we keep track of everything that we pulled out of our garden and used, and we keep track, and then we do a tally at the end of the year. We have actually a separate video on that. And here we have our 2019 goals. We pulled out 210 pounds of produce from our garden this year. I'm wanting to double that, so I want to hit 500 pounds. Well on the way of reaching my goal. So the rhubarb's all been washed. I'm going to chop this up into just chunks, and then for sake of ease and time, I am using a food processor. And when I'm doing a single batch, I actually don't even use the food processor, but because I'm using such a large quantity of rhubarb today, I'm going for saving some time. So the food processor is coming out, but if you do not have a food processor, you are fine. Just use a knife, chop it up into just slices, and you'll be good to go. Once this cooks down, you're not going to even know that you chopped it up. Big chunks that remain from chopping it, just pull them out and just go ahead and redo them again. You can see I had a pile. I overfilled my food processor, so I'll just take them out and do it again. All right, there's 5 cups of rhubarb, and I'll go ahead and put that one in my first saucepan. So this is the second batch, but I only got 4 cups and I am out of rhubarb. So I guess I'm gonna go back out and pick, well, several more pounds of it because my husband was right. I did not get enough rhubarb, so I'll be back. There's our second batch, 2 pounds, 7 ounces. That surely should be enough now. So the kids are going to each open a can of crushed pineapple. Okay, so you're each gonna take your can and put it into your jug. John, you're gonna put 5 cups of sugar into each pot. 5 cups.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Ready? 1.
This is number 5.
All right, move on to the next pot. Oh, Mr. D, do you want to see what's going on? Do you want to come see Mommy? Okay, say up, please. Okay, good boy. Yep, and add yours in, Mary.
They look good.
Dump it all in, girls. And what we're gonna do tonight, late tonight, we're gonna cook these up and can them, and we'll have you guys join us, well, then. It's been about 10 hours. The rhubarb and everything has sat on the stove, and now we're gonna do the next step, which is cooking it. If you wanna do this overnight, you certainly can do that. I just chose to do it this morning. And here it is, Lydia stirring it for me. That's the sugar, the rhubarb, and the pineapple. We're gonna go ahead and turn that on medium-high heat. And then we also have another pot back here. I'm gonna cook that one.
Do I have to stir that too?
Yeah, we'll have to stir that. Then over here I have my big canning pot for sterilizing all of the jars. And then in another pot I have sterilizing all of the rings and the lids. So we're gonna go ahead and bring this up to a boil and then boil it for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, we'll go ahead and add our Jello. Alright, there we are. We're dumping 6 ounces of Jello, that's 2 small boxes or 1 family size box, into this. We're gonna stir this and then bring it back up to a boil. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna do that for 1 minute. Ooh, look how pretty that looks, Peter. Alright, this has been a minute, so we're gonna turn that one off, and then in the canning pot, this has been sterilizing, so I'm going to take the lid off so I can move quickly here. So over here, I'm going to put the jelly here. I'm going to put the canning rings and lids that are in the hot water. They're going to go over here in the pot, and then I'm going to put the hot jar here to fill. And we're just going to kind of work really quickly and get these jars filled. The main thing to remember is to keep your surfaces all sterile. Don't touch anything. You can go ahead and water bath these for 5 minutes after you fill them to make sure that there's no other bacteria or anything that might have, oops. But if you follow canning procedures, you should have no problems with this. My mom's been doing this rhubarb jam for ages and ages, and I don't think we've ever had a single problem. But let's get these filled.
Oh, you don't want to touch it.
How do you drop these on?
Just watch. I've watched Grandma do this many,
I've actually never seen you do it.
You've never seen Grandma do this before?
Is this done
I
boiling?
just want to eat it.
I thought you said you couldn't touch it.
The tops you can. Nothing. No, that's not exposed to anything. You don't want to touch the inside of the ring. Well, my third pot is working on boiling, so I can cook that for another 20 minutes. I went ahead and took the 4 jars that were completed, and I'm water bathing them for 5 minutes. Once the 5 minutes is over, we'll go ahead and take them out, let them cool, and they should be all set. And if you'd like a printable version of this recipe, the link is in the description. You can check that out right there. I'll also put a link, if you've never canned before, I'll put a link to Amazon where you can actually pick up canning kits. I would recommend looking on Facebook Marketplace or maybe asking a relative to see if they might have a canning pot that they aren't using. I've actually picked up one from a sale in the past as well as one from a family friend, and that's how I ended up getting 2 different size canning pots. There are different sizes. This one's a little small to be doing quarts. If you have a choice, get the bigger ones. But I'll put all those links down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask on the community page. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to finish this up. Stay healthy, and we'll see you for our next video.